Alright guys, how's it going? We're going to do a little driving review of the 02 V6 Firebird 5-speed. There we go. I think the battery's a little weak, but it is what it is. We're going to take it for a little drive. Let's go. Setting off in the V6 Firebird. First impression, it's not my first impression, I've owned the car 2 years, but the first thing you notice is the steering. The steering is delightful compared to any new car where it just feels like you're playing a video game, you know? It feels like you're controlling the car, because you are. This is a hydraulic rack and pinion steering, and it's got a nice ratio to it. It's not too quick, it's not too slow. The ratio is perfect. Other thing you notice, this is a 5-speed manual. It's a T5 world class. And on the V6 4th gens, they put a really short first gear ratio. So this thing will do sweet burnouts. Even though it's only got 200 horsepower. It's also got quite a bit of pickup in first gear. I mean, just second gear too. It's got a 323 posi because it is a Y87 sports package. So it's got the posi rear end out of the Trans Am, the shocks out of the Trans Am, as well as the springs out of the Trans Am, I mean, and the steering rack out of the Trans Am. So this thing feels great. In a lot of ways, this car feels better than my Trans Am does. And it's the V6 is just such a balanced handling car. I mean, it just feels so light on its feet. This is a great car to drive. For a daily driver, it is perfect. If you want a sporty daily driver, this is the way to do it. And you know why? Because these things are dirt cheap. Dirt cheap, and they're super cheap to run too. 3800, greatest engine ever made. Super cheap to run. Great gas mileage as well. You think of an engine that's based off the engine from the 50s, you know, they'd get crap gas mileage? Oh no. You get 30 miles a gallon pretty easy. So definitely dig this setup. And the 5-speed, I really like the 5-speed, I really do. It's not super strong if you're going to go racing or something, but for a daily driver, it's fantastic. The clutch in this car is abnormally light, actually. The clutch in my Trans Am is super heavy, but this one is like light as a feather. I've never had a clutch lighter than this one. And this the Trans Am, or I mean the shifter of this T5 is just, it feels so good. It's the throws are quite long. But for a daily driver, I kind of like the long throw because it lets you know that, hey, you're in gear, you know, you're doing this. And the throw it's long, but it's very light, you know, it's a very flickable transmission. You know, you can kind of shift just like, oh, you know, look at me, I'm shifting. But it feels good, and it's just satisfying. It's a satisfying transmission to drive. This car does have a straight pipe on it, so it is quite loud. As long as it's below 3,600 RPM, that sounds pretty good in my opinion. Anything above 3,600 sounds like a blender, and I don't particularly like that. My one complaint about driving this car is it's a drive-by-wire, so there's not actually a solid connection between my foot and the throttle body. So what that means is you don't really notice it upshifting, but when you go to downshift and you want to rev match downshift, it's very difficult to do so because there is a delay between your foot and the throttle body. So it takes a long time to get used to. Whereas in my Trans Am, it's by cable, so I can rev match all over the place and it's just fine. It was very easy to get used to. This one takes a long time to get used to. And really in this car, I really don't rev match very often. I find it more frustrating than anything else. But you know, I really like the car. It drives great. It's very comfortable to sit in, actually. You know, I'm not exactly a small person, and I fit in here quite well. And it's one of those cars. This is one of those cars that it feels faster than it actually is. And the way it's geared is you can have a ton of fun below 45 miles an hour. Whereas like in my Trans Am, the way it's geared, the car's not fun until 70 miles an hour. I'm like, that's ridiculous. You can't use that. This car is very, very usable. I really like that about it. You know, around where I live, there's not many roads that are above 45. So to have a car that's like usable at that speed is very nice. I really enjoy driving this car. The seating position in this car, I mean, you don't get much seating position like this anymore. You were down low into the car, and the car doesn't sit very close to the road, but it really feels like you do. You know, it feels like I'm on the ground right now, and I like that actually. Whenever somebody rides with me, they're like, "Holy cow, this car is really low," and it's like I don't really think anything of it because I'm used to it. But most people, that's kind of off-putting. Definitely lower to the ground than most new cars, but it feels great. I mean, we're going down a 45-mile-an-hour country road right now, and it just feels awesome. This is like where this car is meant to be. Would I want to drive this car in, you know, rush hour traffic? No, but if I had to, the clutch is really light, so it's not that big of a deal. I keep thinking this car is a 6-speed like my Trans Am is. I'm going to shift into reverse on accident, or I'm going to die, but careful. But yeah, I mean, this car is a fantastic cruiser. It holds the road so nicely. And like I said, the fuel economy is great. And it takes regular gas, so it's like, no big deal. We're going to go into a little turn here. This is kind of a sharp turn up here now. We're going to do a little handling test, if you know what I mean. Taking a turn. Yep, it's holding it just fine. I mean, this car it's very solid. Yeah, it took that turn awesome. Got another turn coming up here. This one's not quite as tight, but it's got some bumps in it. We'll see what the live axle does, and it's not bad. As long as you got good shocks, the live axle's not bad. But when you got bad shocks, the live axle's horrible. On my Trans Am, it's awful. But in this car, it's got nice shocks on it, so it's no problem. So I'll try to rib match it here. Okay, that was fine. So you can do it. It takes a little while to get used to, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. Turn around to this school up here. I don't want to do a 3-way stop because people don't know how to do 3-way stops in Michigan. Yeah, I mean, this thing is a joy to drive. And one thing I love about this car is how much fun you can have for such little money and such little, like, you know, to maintain the car. It's very, very reasonable. Parts are fairly easy to find too. And I like how much fun you can have under the legal speed limit, you know. These days, cars got, you know, 800 horsepower from the factory, and everybody's got 500 horsepower more. It's like, okay, what good is that if you're going to get arrested for using it, you know?